Hey guys, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I don't even know if anybody's here yet, but hello. I did put up a post, a community post that we're having bad weather. We're under tornado watch right now, and the rain is pretty heavy. And yeah, that's what's happening right now. But I'm still going to try to do the Bible study as much as we can. Hopefully, we'll get it all. I have dinner in the crock pot, so hopefully it'll be done, which it's chilly that everything is already cooked. It just has to love each other a little bit. So we'll see how that works out too, I guess, in tomorrow's video. But I don't know if anybody's here yet. I don't see anybody on the thing, but sometimes it'll say nobody's here and then people will be commenting. Sometimes it says 3 people's here, but 5 people will be commenting, so we can't trust it. We have figured that out, or I have figured that out. Anyway, I just got a text too because I'm getting checked on because of the weather. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Getting comments about like on the post. So I'm trying to let anyone who is there know that I am live now because it is time for me to be live. I hope that I'm not wrong. It is a little after 2:30, so I know that y'all. It doesn't show anybody's here, so I'm just going to talk for the replay, thing. But yeah, I'm here. And I've also been told that some of you are not getting notifications, and I'm sorry about that. I don't know why you would not get notifications when I'm live. I don't understand that. But because I put on there, or no, not just when I'm live, but whenever my videos go up, I put on there that to send out notifications because I can change it if I want to. But I don't know. But I'm just going to go ahead like I normally would do, even though nobody's here, and wonder if anybody's here. I don't know what's happening, really. It's not supposed to be private. Let me edit this and see. It's not private. It can't be private. I didn't. Y'all, I'm so ridiculous. I didn't push the right button, so it didn't say that it was private. I mean, it didn't say it was public. No wonder y'all aren't here. I'll have to explain that whenever someone comes in. That makes me feel so foolish. I guess it's because my nerves. Oh, goodness. Now they're not seeing me on public, so. Okay. All right. Hello. I'm sorry. I've been live for like 3 minutes and 7 seconds. And guess what me did in my flustery type of way because of the weather freaking me out and my little poopy dogs like literally up under me. I could not even close the bathroom door when I went to go tinkle earlier because 3 of them were following me and I didn't want to close one of them's little paw in the door. But I didn't hit public. So I've been sitting here talking to myself, wondering where everybody was at. So hey, I'm so sorry. I used to live in Arkansas. They were wild and crazy out there, but I moved to a different state now. We get hurricanes. Ooh, no, don't want hurricanes. Don't want them. Which we we have had hurricanes come through Alabama before, but the weather right now is kind of teetered off to just a rain. Well, I can't see to like it's still thundering. Hold on, I'll be right back. It's not a heavy rain, but it's not like super. It's not a light rain. It's not a drizzle. It's raining. It's raining. That's all. The wind's not blowing bad anymore right now. But it's still a steady rain and there's still thunder. And I got a puppy here. I got a puppy there shaking like a leaf. I don't know where Allie went. She was here. Maggie is the only one that just does not care. The cat's been roaming around everywhere like she's freaking out. She usually goes to Selena's door whenever it starts to storm. She has been doing that a lot. But last week it stormed and we were still fine. But we're going to try to get the Bible study done. At least some of it. And the storm seems to be kind of, teetering out or whatever. But we are under a tornado watch right now until I don't know what time. Oh, now we're just under thunderstorm warning. So good, that's good. What does it say? Can you actually tell me the weather? Heavy thunderstorms, current weather, raining. Duh. Oh, that was rude. The rain should stop in a little while. So we should be fine unless something else happens. But anyway, let's get started because I'm already 6 minutes in, which y'all don't know that, but the replay I'll be looking like a fool because I'll figure out that I didn't hit public. I skipped it on accident because I was trying to hurry up and the electricity was kind of freaking me out a little bit because it was flickering at times. Do y'all hear that? That was thunder. Anyway, let's go ahead with what am I saying? I can't think. Prayer request. Donna's friend Dochi, she has COVID, which we talked about this Tuesday, but I just want to kind of go over it again. And then Vicky Wright, her mother passed away. She's another YouTuber. And there's just got on live, didn't come through, and no notice. Yeah, Donna, this time, it might have been my fault, part of it, which some people did get a notice. I accidentally forgot to hit public because my brain is not functioning properly. Because my doggos are, where'd she go? She's over there. You can't see her, and she's right here, almost up under my feet. I cannot move my chair, or I might run over her little paws with my wheels. Like, literally, her paw is at my wheel. So, I was busy thinking about the poopies and the weather and didn't hit public. Sorry. So that time it might have been my fault. A little hole in the bag today. But yeah, it's still thundering. Y'all probably hear it. We're not under the tornado watch anymore. At least I don't think we are. So we're good. So prayers, all of us need prayers, but those are ones that I have that are written down. Selena, of course, remember her in your prayers, and just anyone else that has a prayer request. Ooh, that was weird. It kind of just went focus weird. Anyone else that y'all have, you can put them in the chat box, or if you're watching this on replay and seeing me look like a crazy woman, then you can just leave it in the comments. Oh, a low blood pressure day. Oh yeah, Joanne, you're on my prayer list too. But there was somebody else that I was supposed to write down, and I cannot remember who. I think there was. Maybe I already did it. Yeah, Ireland has the cough still. She's been sick. Seems like there was somebody else, but I don't remember. But yeah, everybody just keep each other in prayer. All of our little Bible study group for sure, but others too, of course. And if, like I said, if there's anyone ever, oh no, her son. How old is her son? She's a little better. Why is this thing vibrating? What's happening? Okay, it's nothing. Okay. Sometimes whenever we have bad weather or something like that, I'll get a notification. So I will check if there's something like that. He's asthmatic. Okay. Can you? Okay, your toes are moved. I can scooch a little bit. I don't want to run over her little feet. It's okay. They're like, no, it's not. You don't understand. They don't understand is what it is. So let's get into the study. Now, we're doing chapters 22 through 46, and of course I'm not going to read it all like I do on the Tuesday studies. But Donna had brought up some things. I have a list of different things whenever I was listening. What I've started doing whenever I'm listening to the Bible or reading it, because sometimes I just listen to it on my app and like take notes. I've been taking down notes of things for each chapter, or like something that stood out that might have be something that I don't know. But then Donna and I have had conversations through email. Amy and I have had conversations, and this study is like different than the other one for sure. My sister and I have had some conversations. She's not loving this second book, but like I said last week, I want to give it a good chance, because we can't, like they say, you can't judge a book by its cover. Well, both of these covers are almost exactly the same. They are written 2 years apart by two different people. They are named almost exactly the same, but they are not written the same. We have figured that out probably already. But I still want to go on with both of them. I don't know. They don't go together to me. Yes, you're reading the same scripture, but they don't complement one another, if that makes sense. It's like two different studies, because it is. Even though this one looks like it would be a complementary thing to this one, it's not. It's a complete different study. And I was wondering, do y'all just want to go on with one of them and do the other one next year? Or do you want to keep doing both of them at the same time? That's up to y'all, because the questions are different. And they do make you think about different things, which is good. We shouldn't be focusing on just, like the fisheye or fishbowl focus. We don't need that. So, it was a thought that I had, because they're not the same. They don't complement each other. They're not. You're reading the same scripture, but they're not the same. But it's not that many questions to answer. It's not that much reading out of the books. You're doing mostly the Bible reading. So it's not that big of a deal to go ahead and do both. But there are things in this one, and yes, I know it's a woman's Bible study, but some of it, like, I don't believe in feminism. Y'all know that. I'm against feminism because of what it's done to women, to, stay-at-home moms or housewives and stuff, because it makes some of us feel inadequate. And there's womanism in this, which is, from what I've been looking at, which I have not thoroughly researched it might, I'm not saying it is, it might be a type of feminism, but it's a feminism focusing on family. It's just weird. I don't know. But anyway, we can, decide together, because we purchased these books. We spent good money on these books, and I don't want to waste that money. I want to use them, even if it's teaching us what not to do. You know what I'm saying? We did that whenever my kids were in school. There were times where I made a mistake and bought the wrong kind of curriculum, or something that didn't work as well, and I made it work for us. And since I did that, it taught my children what to believe and what lies can be told and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying there's lies in this. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's good to sometimes have a different perspective so that you can say, okay, that's not what God says. But whenever someone comes to you with that wrong perspective, you can have a good biblical answer, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of leaning toward getting them both done at the same time. But I want everyone here who participates to be involved in the answers. If, what you want to do, what you feel. Because y'all pray about it and decide, and we're not deciding today. So let's go on with the Bible study. Like I said, we have had discussions, like deep, in-depth discussions at times about this. Amy and I have, Donna and I have some pretty good discussions about it. And chapter 22 was the first chapter. And with chapter 22, we already had different things that we were wondering about. Oh, how did I press a button and do that? I don't even know. I hope Donna's okay with this. If she's not, she can slap me later, because hopefully one day we'll get to meet. But she had said she had a question about the Bible study. And wait a minute, did she say that I could bring it up? I don't remember. One of the things she said, yes, I could. But anyway, the question was about, she said, go ahead, was about Ishmael and Isaac, and how that, unless I say not to. Well, you didn't say not to on this. There was one that you said that I could bring it up, but I don't think it was this. I think it was something else in the other study or something. I don't know. Anyway, we know that Abraham was going to sacrifice Isaac, because that's what God told him to do. So he was going to sacrifice him. And then the question came about whenever, let's see, I should have already found the verse, but y'all, I was trying to figure out, I was seriously trying to figure out a way I could do the live on my phone, because my phone has plenty of battery and I do have internet on my phone. So I was trying to figure out a way, I was like, where can I go that have plenty of light if the electricity goes off and still do my live? I was so busy trying to figure that out that I didn't even set myself up good today. And y'all can probably tell, but that's all right too. We'll get through it. But anyway, in verse, you might have said what verse? 22:16. Yes, you did. It said, and let's see, it says, and the angel of the Lord, this is 15, called unto Abraham out of heaven in the second time, and said, by myself have I sworn, saith the Lord, for because thou hast done this thing, and hast not withheld thy son, thine only son. Okay, we all know that Ishmael was Abraham's son as well. But the question was, why does it say thine only son? So we started talking about it and comparing different versions of the Bible. And all but one that I looked at said, thine only son, your only son, your dear, dear son is what one of them said. But every one of them said, your only son. And the only thing I can figure out is because he was the only son of promise. He was the one that God had promised. He was the one that God had said would be the start of the many nations. He's the one that Jesus's lineage comes from. So, I mean, Ishmael come from a whole different place. And y'all, that's what I think I want our first study after we finish 2 Samuel. And I know I'm going back to another subject, but that's what I think I want our first study to be on is Ishmael's line. Where did it go? Where did it come from? Like what happened with it? I think that would be a good study. But anyway, let's go on back to the other. Y'all can tell me that later. I'm all over the place and I'm so sorry. I feel so discombobulated. But I told her, I said, maybe he was the son of promise, the one the new covenant was to go through. That is all I can think of. Ishmael wasn't a child of the covenant, even though God gave him nations. Maybe it's because Isaac was the true heir, and Ishmael was illegitimate. I also don't remember Ishmael being circumcised like Isaac was. This makes me think Abraham possibly saw Isaac as a covenant child too, because see, he wasn't circumcised. Isaac was. At least there's nowhere that I remember Ishmael being circumcised. And to be circumcised meant you were part of the covenant. So that's the only thing I can figure out is that. And y'all let me know what you think. Donna and I came kind of, y'all can see that little ear over there shaking. But it was thundering. So she started shaking again. But that's the only thing I can figure out. Is because he was the promised son. Oh, I also had written down some stuff. Abraham did not obey God when he didn't wait for the promised son and had Ishmael with Hagar. Did God test him the second time with the sacrifice of Isaac? That's one thing I was wondering. Did God test him again? Because God had tested him the first time whenever he had promised the son. And he failed the test. He slept with Hagar and they had a child. So Abraham and Sarah failed the test. So was the second test, the sacrificing of Isaac, was that the one that said, okay, are you really going to trust me now? Is that what God was saying? I think that that's probably what he was saying. And I feel like sometimes, like, y'all know I've talked about it bunches of times. I walked away from the Lord. I was following the Lord. In fact, people would say that they knew I was a Christian, that they knew without even really talking to me that I was a Christian because of how I carried myself and because of, the different ways I talked. And once they did talk to me and just different things, they knew I was a Christian. They knew I was different. And then I walked away from the Lord. And then I came back to the Lord. I rededicated my life. And I wonder if, like, it was a test to see if I would when God had, I knew that God wanted me to be following him, but I didn't listen. And I felt like the night that I did rededicate myself to the Lord, the night I made that decision to follow God completely, I feel like God was testing me. I don't know what would have happened if I would have said no, if I would have ignored those feelings that I had, if I would have not done that. I just don't think that my life would be as good as it is now. And yes, I have hard times. Yes, we all do. There's no promises of wonderful life after you become a Christian. It's just a life. People say that there is. But I wonder if I had failed that test, I wonder where I would be now sometimes. I will never know because I didn't fail, I don't believe, because I've been following God since. So that was something I thought about. There's something else that's in chapter 25 that bugged me. And I'm just going to kind of go over the things that kind of I wrote it down because I was like, wait a minute. This says this and that says that. Are you going to work? No? Yeah? Okay. Chapter 25. In chapter 25, it says that Isaac. Oh, what is that? Isaac's age when Esau and Jacob were born. Okay. One place it says, how old? Okay. It says that he was 40 years old when he took Rebecca to be a wife. I prayed he would be taken from me before I got attached if he couldn't play like a normal kid. They were talking surgery and everything, but then after I prayed, they said no surgery. Yeah, I mean, I think we're all tested at times, or and I think it's good. I think it's good that we are. But it says in verse 20 that Isaac was 40 years old when they were born, and then let's see, then on down in 26, chapter 25, verse 26, it says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was Jacob, and Isaac was 60 years old when she bare him. So what does 60 mean? Doesn't that mean 30? Yeah, that means 30, doesn't it? How many is the? No, 60. No. What? Uh, this is conflicting. It's conflicting answers. Okay. 60 being or containing 3 times 20. So that's 60 years old. 60 years old. Let me look at the notes. Let's see if I can find the notes. It just confused me, and I know it doesn't really matter. 60 and 10. No, it's 60, wasn't it? Wasn't it 60? Isn't that what I read? 60 years old when she bare them. Yes, she was. So was he? I know it doesn't actually matter, but it's in the same part. Oh no, never mind, never mind, never mind. She was okay. He was 40 when they got married, 60 whenever they were born. Never mind. There's no conflicting things. It's just my brain was not working. So 20 years they waited to have a baby. And then they had twins. Okay. So never mind about that crazy question I was asking myself. That doesn't matter because it's not real. So he was 60 years old whenever his children were born. So they waited 20 years. Okay. That makes so much more sense. But this is what I thought would be a good way to do this is things that I had questions about. I would write them down and then discuss them with y'all because, see, I wasn't getting it. I was not even getting it until I talked with y'all about it. Now it's just like, boom, there it is. What's wrong with me? But I was doing this at different times because I didn't do it all at one time. Of course, because we're not supposed to be reading it all at once, but okay, so that part's figured out. So it was 20 years before they had a child, and they had twins. Okay, and then there were fights. Terrible. Y'all, this part makes me sad, but that the mother chose one and the father chose the other. It should be both the children being chosen. But chapter 26, I really wish I would have written neater. Isaac did the same as Abraham and lied about his wife. Oh, yes, that was something else I wanted to bring up. In chapter 26, Isaac said that Rebecca, which I wish I would have wrote exactly which scripture. Woman, why didn't you do that? She asked herself like a crazy woman. Where was it? But he, Isaac had said to Abimelech that was his sister. Okay, chapter 26:6. And Isaac dwelt with in Gerar, and the men of the place asked him of his wife, and he said, "She is my sister," for he feared to say, "She is my wife." But she wasn't his sister. There was no truth in it. She was his cousin, but she was not his sister. So he lied to the people. Let's see how he sinned. Genesis 26:7. This is from Matthew Henry's commentary. I've got too many things on my desk. because his wife was handsome, he fancied that the Philistines would find some way or other to take him off, that some of them might marry her, and therefore she must pass for his sister. It is an unaccountable thing that both of these great and good men should be guilty of so strange a piece of dissimulation, by which they so much exposed both their own and their wives' reputation. They made themselves look bad, honestly. And I don't know why Rebecca would have allowed that. By that time, they had already had the 2 children, so they had to have known that she had a husband somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And just because she was a beautiful woman doesn't mean that every man, I mean, yeah, he was afraid he was going to get killed. I understand that. But some of this stuff we definitely would not do today. And I don't know. That just, it kind of bothered me that would happen again. Like, why did he decide to do the same thing that his father did? Did he know that his father had done that twice? Because wasn't it twice that Abraham did it? I think it was twice. I know it was at least twice. Then in chapter 27, and I know I'm kind of just going through, and we can talk about it more in depth if y'all want to. But Jacob stole Esau's blessing. I know that it says that Esau gave his blessing to his brother for the food, but I feel like, yeah, Abraham and Sarah were half siblings, but Isaac and Rebekah were cousins. They were not siblings at all. They didn't have the same parents at all, not the same father or mother. So I just don't see how that he could do that. And think it was okay. I just don't know why he thinks that's okay. But I know the times were different. I know we have to think about that. Like I got my what is this actually called? The Cultural Backgrounds Bible. I got it out just to kind of try to help with things, but I haven't even looked at it, have I? I've been looking at the one over here on my other screen. But in chapter 27, it tells about how that Esau had come in because he was tired, he was hungry, he felt he was dying. That's how bad it was. And he asked his brother to give him some of the meat. Oh, no, let's see. Is this the right one? No, 27. Oh, wait. That was before. The birthright was that one. The blessing was whenever Rebecca, which was a question in the books, in one of these books. Let me see which one it was. Rebecca helped Jacob steal the blessing. Now, I don't get it. Why would you want to do that? I'm so mixed up today. I'm so sorry. This weather's got me a little bit jumbled. Nope, it's not in there. So it's in this one. See, I feel like both the books would be good. Okay. Rebecca was involved in the blessing of Jacob and Isaac. How was she trying to serve God? I just don't think she was. In fact, I think that's exactly what I wrote. What did I write? She wasn't. She wanted her favorite to be blessed is what I wrote down. That's the way it seems to me, is Rebecca was looking at her child, her favorite, to be blessed. She didn't seem to care about Esau. And that, to me, is just a terrible thing that you would do that. But that's the other notes. So, Isaac was blind, or he couldn't see well. He couldn't see well enough to know his children's faces. So, Rebecca came up with this scheme while that Esau was out hunting to dress up Isaac and make him smell like his brother and trick Jacob. No, to trick Isaac. Okay, I'm mixing up names, y'all. I'm so sorry. This is terrible. This is really terrible. Let me start that over then. Rebecca took Jacob and dressed him up like Esau and made him smell like Esau and made savory meats to trick Isaac. That's the proper way to do it. Because she had heard Isaac speaking to Esau. Yeah, that's the way it goes. So she was being deceitful. And like I said, I don't believe that she was doing the will of God. Even though God used what she did, because he did use Jacob. But I don't feel like she was doing it right. But Jacob stole Esau's blessing, so Esau wanted to kill him, and Rebekah told Jacob to run to Laban. And y'all know that Laban is, we find out, Laban's pretty tricky character himself. He's not the one that I would have sent my child to. But then I've looked at it, the fact that Laban was deceitful in some ways, and Rebekah is his sister. Maybe she was deceitful too. It makes me wonder, because they did have the same parents, they did come from the same place. Was she deceitful like Laban? Because we find out later on that Laban's pretty shady. And then there was something else I wondered about. The daughters of Heth. Why did I write that down? I don't know. Do y'all know? Let's see. And Rebekah said, Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these, which are the daughters of the land, what good shall come of me? Okay. So, which we know that Esau married, I want to say, yeah, Ishmael's daughters, which we know Ishmael, if it's the same Ishmael, is Abraham's other child. See, it so mixes me up with all these different, the lineage and stuff. I could have been better prepared, but my brain is not functioning. I had all these thoughts, though, whenever I was studying all this. So she was asking, she impressed Isaac with an apprehension of the necessity of Jacob's going among her relations upon another account, which was to take a wife. She would not tell him of Esau's wicked design against the life of Jacob, lest it should trouble him, but prudently took another way to gain her point. Isaac saw as, oh, that's why she explained to Isaac why Jacob had to go. Because she didn't want him to marry there, and that was a way to get the father's blessing for him to go? Maybe? What do y'all think? That's what it sounds like. Let's see. Isaac saw as uneasy as he was to Esau's being unequally yoked with the Hittites, and therefore with a very good color of reason she moves to have Jacob married to one of the better principled. Note, one miscarriage should serve as a warning to prevent another. Those are careless indeed that stumble twice at the same stone. But yet Rebekah seems to have expressed herself somewhat too warmly in the matter when she said, what good will my life do me if Jacob marry a Canaanite? Thanks be to God, all our comfort is not lodged in one hand. We may do the work of life and enjoy the comforts of life, though everything do not fall out of our mind, and though our relations be not in all respects agreeable to us. Perhaps Rebekah spoke with this concern because she saw it necessary for the quickening of Isaac to give speedy orders to this matter. So this is in the Matthew Henry commentary. Am I still live? Because nobody's saying anything, or y'all just not talking right now? I don't know. But so that was her reason why to send him to Laban, I guess. And then in chapter 28, we find that Esau marries, you're here, but you're just as confused as I am, and I've made everything worse. Maybe. Esau married Okay, and Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise and go to Padanaram, to the house of Bethuel, my mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence and the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. So his mother's father, oh, never mind, thy mother, okay. I said that wrong. I read it wrong. Okay, so he blessed him to go. And then Esau marries an Ishmaelite. When Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Padanaram to take him a wife from thence, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. So Isaac and Esau both knew that they didn't need, that their father didn't want them to marry a Canaanite. But Esau went to Ishmael. We all know that Ishmael. Did y'all see the lights flicker? Or was it just me? That was freaky deaky. Okay, I'm going to write down me a note about Ishmael. What would y'all want to study that on Tuesday after we finish 1 Samuel? Did y'all see it then? I may need to go. We may not finish today. It's not even storming anymore.